So this is just a quick demo of the Envido intelligent building web-based interface, so the control panel for the intelligent building solution. It's web-based, so it just appears as a normal web page at login. Gives a bit of information about what the intelligent building solution is. It's an open protocol system, so it allows really easy integration with existing providers of technology, as well as new providers and new technology manufacturers as they come onto the market. So we're just going to go down the menu side here on the left, one by one, looking at how this system can help an effective energy reduction strategy. So we click into Site Example, and it gives us a list of the various parts of the estate that we're controlling, whether that's individual floors, individual buildings, and even down to individual plant level. So we'll click first on floor 21, and this opens up the floor plan for the office for Envido HQ. If we click on each of these areas of the floor plan, it gives us an idea of what our intelligent building solution is controlling on these specific parts of the floor plan, so lighting and some temperature controls, as we can see here. So if we've got an alarm that's been delivered to us from the intelligent building solution, we can log into the system and try to establish why that alarm's been triggered. So if we look at floor 21, Zone A West, we see that there's some lighting on. We've received an alarm for the lighting. We can click into the intelligent building solution, and then we can switch the lighting off. So this is outside of normal working hours, so we know that the lights should be switched off at this time. So instantly, where we might have before had a sensor system that would switch the lights off maybe a couple of hours later, or in the worst case scenario, they might have been left on overnight, we've immediately saved energy by switching them off. Also, looking at the air handling unit for this building, we can go and see which pieces of plant are being controlled by the intelligent building solution. And the solution is interrogating each of these pieces of equipment on a system level, so that we get a really good understanding of what these systems are actually doing, not just for temperatures, but in terms of maintenance, in terms of overall performance of the system and optimization of the system. And the flexibility of the system is so great that actually it can be used even on a domestic level to control small buildings, small outlying parts of the estate, where traditionally it would be too costly to provide any level of control. This open source system really allows that deep level of control of the entire estate to happen. So moving down the menu on the left hand side, we get a quick overview of what each of these zones are doing. We can see how they're performing, a quick look at that without needing to interrogate further. If we do need to, we can run into that and get, again, a log of how this building is performing. So it gives us a really good example of what that building's doing in terms of the set point for the building on that example, and here for the temperature. So we get a good idea of what that temperature is doing to ensure that actually it's at the right level. The calendar function allows us to set up the operating hours, so we can do this on an annual basis, on a weekly basis, to ensure that this building's only operating when it's supposed to be operating. This is especially important for buildings which are shut down at public holidays, etc., just to save those dozen or so days in the year when it shouldn't be using energy, and often we find that it is. The alarms function is really important. So alarms gives us a list of errors that may have occurred within the system. So depending on which parts of the equipment the intelligent building solution is controlling, the alarms system which is built into the software will allow us to find out exactly what's going on with plant when we get an alarm, to ensure that not only is the building running efficiently, but also it's running safely. So if we click into these HVAC alarms, we get a list of the alarms that we've received. The great thing about this, because of the way that the open source system interrogates the machinery on a system-based level rather than a point-by-point level, we get a lot more information. So we can see if the maintenance issues are critical or whether they're just small issues that can be rectified during the planned or scheduled maintenance. It saves lots of time in sending people to site. It saves lots of time and money in terms of the costs of calling out those maintenance contractors. So then if we click through to fire alarms, we can see really if there are serious issues with the machinery that the intelligent building solution is monitoring. Some of these issues will be critical and will need to be rectified immediately. Other times we're going to get amber warning lights so that we know that we don't need to deal with that straight away. We can turn these alarms off and we can remove the alarms once we've logged them.